Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Seattle Stitcher. My name is Megan. You can find me on Instagram as The Seattle Stitcher, or you can email me at theseattlestitcher@gmail.com. And as I say, you are all very, very welcome here. So if you can't find me on social media, all my links will be in the down bar below, as well as a few extras that I don't mention. But let's hop right in, guys. I actually do have an FFO. So I started from Teresa Kogut's Hello Halloween book. I'll have to pop a picture on the screen because I already packed up the pattern book, but this pattern I found in the book. It's called Prim Witch, and I absolutely loved it. I wanted a fill-in stitch, something that was a lot of like, not really counting, but I could just be going back and forth when I was picking up my daughter and dropping her off at school, because that does take up quite a bit of time. I'm trying to get there closer and closer to like the pickup and drop off time, so it's less of me just sitting, but I feel like there's so much just sitting. So anyway, I did finally, well, I guess not finally, because I just started this one a couple of weeks ago, but I did get it fully finished. So I did do a hoop finish. I had this hoop just in stash. It's not one that I don't think you're supposed to use for cross stitching. I think it's just for finishing, because I got sent it in finishing supplies. I stitched this 2/2 on a 32 count. I did omit, there's like a cat behind her, and then it says like October 31st. I did omit those just because I thought, you know, I just kind of want to stitch the witch. I don't know why. I just was really obsessed with her and had to get her stitched up. So this fabric is a 32 count. It was a plain Zweigart fabric, like a cream color, and I over dyed it myself with taupe Rit dye, so just plain taupe Rit dye. And I use the same method that I use in my how I dye Ada video, but you can see up close here. I'm really, really happy with how she turned out. I actually did add some beads here as well. She had like some just black X's as little trim pieces, and I thought, you know what, she deserves some beads. I had some Preciosa beads in stash in the matte black. So yeah, I did do my own color conversion for this as well. So I dyed the fabric, decided to add beads, and then the color conversion that I did, I'll go ahead and pop it on the screen here. I also do have this listed in a post on Instagram, so you're more than welcome to go there and check that out. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. There's actually a lot of over 1 stitches in the hand here, as well as all of her nails are like half stitch, 1/1. So really, really fun pattern. I really did enjoy this. I kind of pulled like just colors that I thought went well together. I made her skin more of a dark, murky green. And then I love this orange by Color and Cotton. I think it's called Acorn Squash, if I'm remembering correctly. And it is just so fun. Absolutely love that. So yeah, I just put it in the frame, and then I did a little disc on the back. It's not like super tight fitting. I should have made it a little bit larger, but it's just kind of glued to the back as I nicely folded the fabric under. And it's just like some little witch hocus pocus themed fabric. But I figured, you know, no one's gonna see it. It's a Halloween fabric, it's good enough. But it worked out. It's not like too thick or anything. So I think it's just fine. And then I had a bunch of ribbon that I bought at, I think Goodwill. I was thrifting and I found a huge thing of ribbon, like a huge bag for like $6. And so now I have an entire box filled with ribbon, but I figured I can just hang it like this, and I can either hang it on the wall, I can hang it off my bookshelf, whatever it may be, even a doorknob. So yeah, I really like this. I think it's super cute, like the way it turned out. I might reframe it in the future in a little tiny frame if I can find one that fits her perfectly, but not too worried about it. It's just a cute little Halloween stitch that I can use for decorating. But yeah, she's gonna get packed up now. From there, I'll move on into my starts, because I did actually start a pattern over the past couple weeks. At least I think I didn't show this in my last Flosstube. I honestly can't remember. It is one of these stitches that I am leaving out since we are moving. I'll get more into life stuff at the end. I always do that. I don't like putting in the beginning, because, you know, we're just here for the cross stitch sometimes, you know what I mean? But I had been wanting to start this pattern, Sally Spencer, ever since I saw my friend Bridget, the museum stitcher. She had stitched this and she has it fully finished. I think she has a post about it on her Instagram, but it's been a while now since she finished it, so you might have to scroll a little bit. But I absolutely loved this pattern, Sally Spencer. It was an out of print, but now it is being reworked by the Colorado Cross Stitch Shop. So I absolutely love this pattern. It's just gorgeous. I love the colors. I particularly though liked the way the coloring looked on this cover photo, which if you were to go and buy the called for colors, like this bird that looks like she's hot pink there is actually like a red. And so Bridget has it finished, I think in the call for, or maybe a conversion that she did, and it looks really, really good. I honestly never would have even eyed this pattern until I saw her finish of it, and it's just so pretty that I was like, oh, I have to get that. So right when it was being re-released, the Birds of a Feather charts at the Colorado Cross Stitch Shop, I picked this one up. But then recently, some of the other girls, Cam and Elizabeth, so Cam the Stitcher and Frizzy Lizzy Stitches, they both, I think, started it. I know that Elizabeth started it. And I decided I had to start with the two of them because I absolutely love this piece. I had posted a while ago on Instagram a conversion that I did for this one through Color and Cotton, and this is my conversion. So it's not meant to look like the called for, it's more so just meant to look like the cover photo. So here are my colors. Let me flip this one over. And I did originally pick a green because I was thinking about making the leaves green, but I decided to just kind of leave them as this navy blue and teal blue color. It's a little funky and different, but I really like it, and I like these colors a lot. So the Color and Cotton colors that I have pulled are Marzipan, which is a nice creamy white, Azure, I don't know how you pronounce this one, Azure, is that correct? Who knows? But it's a nice, really pretty teal blue. Stargazing, which is a very deep mottled or slightly variegated, sorry, not mottled, a very deep, slightly variegated navy. Rustic Black, which is just a nice variegated black. Coming Up Roses is this hot, hot pink color, and it is such a good shade of pink. Actually, if you are wanting to stitch the House of Cam pattern that has that like hot pink, it's the Stitching Inventory one. It has a hot pink in it, and that is a silk. And if you are wanting a good conversion, I feel like this has to be just as bright. It is so bright in person. Like, I don't feel like the camera quite picks it up, and we're super gray here today, overcast, so I don't think you quite get the effect. But then lastly, I have the color Petal, which is a really nice soft pink, kind of similar to my baby pink t-shirt. So yeah, I decided to pull these colors from my stash of Color and Cottons, and I'm stitching this 1/2 on, I think, a 36 count. Let me double check, I have the tag here. This is a Cedar River, oh, it's a 40 count, in Coffee Stain. And here, sorry, I have my scissors on here, I know, I'm a mess. And here is where I have gotten to. So the fabric, I'm absolutely loving. It's a beautiful model. Absolutely love this. It's kind of like warm tone but cool tone at the same time, which is one of my favorite kind of neutrals, where these like taupey grays with that warm brown, I absolutely love that. And I love how it is working up. I feel like on camera that teal blue is not quite showing up, but in person it shows up really, really well. So it's the strangest thing. I also, like I said, really overcast day, really gray here, so kind of hard to tell. The navy blue to the black are also very similar, but I don't mind at all. I think it's gonna be a really cute, bright, funky piece, and I think it might be one that I set aside when I'm finished to hang up in my kids' bathroom. I know that seems weird, but I really want like a funky kids' bathroom that's bright colors and like crazy wall art and stuff. And I thought this is probably a pretty small finish, and I think it's gonna be really cute with that hot pink pop of color. So that's what I'm thinking right now. I have a few other samplers as well that are really bright in color, and I thought, you know, I might actually frame those and put them in the bathroom. So yeah, really love this. Love the way it's working up. This is one of the projects that I have kept out in a basket of whips because I have actually packed up all the rest of my whips. So I'm keeping this one out so that I can work on it for the next few weeks. So you guys will definitely see this one the next time that I film, whenever that is. But yeah, really love this one. Again, that's from Colorado Cross Stitch Shop. You can pick up that pattern. So really enjoying that. And the next pattern, this is an out of print pattern, so I'm so sorry if you want to get your hands on it. You might be able to find it on eBay. I was very, very kindly loaned this chart, and I absolutely love it. I actually need to mail this back before we move, so I'm gonna get that off in the mailbox here soon. But I'm stitching this on 40 count Bestitch Me in the colorway Ledger 1/2, and I'm using a mix of the called for colors as well as just kind of colors that were as close as possible that I had in stash. Got a little mix of colors here, but I do really like these. I kept it like true to the vein of the actual pattern itself, and here is where I have gotten to. So last time I had shown this, I don't know if I have a picture before. Things have just been pretty busy over here, but I don't know if I had the whole house in, but I did finish off like filling in the house, and then I did start working on the green. The stitches look just so perfect. This 40 count is pretty tight, so it looks really, really nice. But this ledger colorway, I think you can really tell actually in the gray light of today for the overcast weather, how pretty this color is. It's blue and yellow on a creamy base. I would really like to try to dye this up myself, like something similar, because you know, at first when I got this fabric, I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna use that for, but I actually love it for a lot of things that have these yellows in it, and I think it's really pretty for samplers as well. So yeah, really want to get this one finished. That's why I'm leaving it out. I'm not packing this whip up. This will stay with me in my basket of whips. But love this one, super cute, really fun. And then I worked on one more pattern. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, here it is. I didn't work on this one very long, just a few stitches, but that's because I just pulled it out last night. My hands have been hurting though, so I haven't really been stitching that much. This is Drawn Thread Welcome Halloween. This one I pulled out just so I can actually finish it. So this will be my new parent pickup drop-off situation, and I will just be working on this in the car, which I don't think is going to be too difficult. It's not really ideally fill-in, but at least I will be able to get it finished because I wanted to get it finished this year, and I am saving the back stitching to last, so that'll be kind of my last final step. But I did do a color conversion for this one. I don't think I have this color conversion posted anywhere, so I'll just list it off here. This is a color and cotton, which I think was like a specialty because it was out of a mystery like Halloween box. It was called Warning Signs. I don't know, like I said, if this is one that you can still get. I don't think it is, but it's just a really, really neon variegated orange. I don't know. It's kind of like a true pumpkin orange, but a little bit brighter. And then my colors are all DMCs, 3362. 610, a crew, 3822, which there is a little, what are those called? A candy corn? Is that what that's called? There's a little candy corn in here, so that's why I have this bright yellow. It's used nowhere else. Blanc, 740, just a nice solid orange, and then 310, just DMC black. So yeah, I've got these colors pulled, and the reason why I went with this slightly variegated is because there's a large pumpkin. I know what you're thinking, like this orange is pretty close, but there's a large pumpkin in the pattern. I really wanted something a little variegated for that area where there was a lot of fill-in of the pumpkin. And I'm stitching this on a mystery fabric, honestly. I don't remember the name of this one. It's one of my favorite Zweigart fabrics, but I can't remember what it is because I kept thinking that this was flax, but it's not flax. It's a little bit more gray toned than that, so I'm not sure off the top of my head, but I do really like this fabric. It's a 32 count and I'm stitching 2/2, and sorry it's in the frame, but there's the beginning, the W, the E, and the L. See that large pumpkin? You can see the variegation. Absolutely love that. How cute is it? And then here is where I'm at right now is the O. So I'm just adding in some rows here. You can see there's a stitch missing. It's because that is where the bats are. There's some bats that are inside here. So I think I finished off that white thread and I planned to pick up 310 so that I could stitch the bats just to get them out of the way. And then I would have a little bit of fill in there for the car. So this needle minder is from a last year's autumn or Halloween box from the Historical Sampler Society. They do these like mystery boxes that are super, super fun. Highly recommend. I'll try to link them down below if I can remember, but I really like this needle minder for this pattern. I think it's so cute. So I have that one on there as well. But yeah, I'm really close to a finish on this. So I kept this one out instead of packing it up so that I can actually get this one finished. I know we'll be busy in the next few weeks, but I definitely still will have stitching time and downtime in the evenings. And like I said, car stitching. So this will be my new car stitch. That's why I have it on the hoop still. And it is, yeah, good to go. So those are my 3 projects that I worked on and my 1 FFO. I am going to move on into knitting and then we'll get into life stuff and that'll be that. So I have been knitting away. So I have this book, Nordic Knits, and absolutely love this book. I think it's just fantastic. I have been slowly working away on this sweater here. It's just a nice cardigan. And then I really wanted to start another pattern so that I could use up some of my BC Garn Bio Shetland wool. And I really wanted to use the gray, the navy blue, and the white colored yarn. I'm just trying to find the pattern photo of the sweater that so this is the sweater. And I was thinking, okay, perfect, I will stripe those colors. But once I casted it on and I started the sweater, I realized that the gray and the white were just way too close. And so there was no contrast and you genuinely could not tell the difference between the two of them. So I went ahead and I frogged it back. And I have now decided that I'm gonna knit the body just with lice stitches, which is when there's like, it's not sporadic dots, it's like, you knit 1 in the contrast color, which for me is gray, and then you'll knit 3 in the main color, which for me is the navy blue, and you'll do that. So knit 1, knit 3, knit 1, knit 3, and then you knit 2 solid rows, and then you rotate to where your 1 lice stitch, which is the white stitch, your contrast color, is in the center of that next 3. So they're kind of going back and forth, back and forth. It's a very common pattern for the body of a sweater, in, like Norwegian knitting style. And I'm hoping I have enough yarn to knit this whole thing, but we'll see. I did recast on, since I last showed you guys, the body band, and I decided to go down a size to a size medium because that is like a true to size for me. And so I'm hoping that it's just a nice, you know, not tight, but at least a little bit more fitted sweater. And obviously it's going to stretch out quite a bit after blocking and whatnot, but here is where I have gotten to on that. So last time you guys saw, I literally just had the cast on row, but I did knit on that cast on row, ended up having it twisted, redid the cast on, and I had to redo this cast on 3 times because I just kept on doing it. But you see here, this is what is called a lice stitch, and it's just alternating rows of this little kind of contrast pattern. So my main color, like I said, is going to be this nice navy blue. And the sweater will be slightly cropped, not super cropped, but I don't want it to be really oversized either. So we'll see what happens. And then here is the gray. And then I'm just gonna carry that through the body, and I'll still have that colorwork panel up at the top. So I'll probably just measure this based off of, like whatever cropped sweater I have in my actual closet right now that I like the length of, and I will go from there. But like I said, I'm hoping I have enough of this navy blue. If I don't mind going and just, you know, snagging up some more online. Hopefully I can find a store in the US that's selling it, because I think that previously I have purchased it from overseas locations, but we'll see what I can find because a lot of places aren't shipping to the US right now. I did do a few more rows on the cardigan that I showed you guys last time, again from the same exact Nordic Knits book. And I just have a couple more rows of the repeat that I'm on and the body will be done. I know, not much difference. All I did since last time was I did the white and the navy rows here, and I just have to finish off the top. So it's like 2 or 3 more rows and the body is completely done, and I will cast on the sleeves. I don't know if I'm gonna cast them on before we move or not. I don't know, because it depends on if I'm knitting or if I'm stitching, but I'll try. I am gonna just put in my basket, I'll show you guys, this is my basket. I got it thrifting, but in that basket I'll pop my knitting needle bag and all that stuff, and I also put my stitch markers in there, so I will be able to continue knitting without having to like have the stuff unpacked. But I'll go ahead and do that. So this is also all worked up with BC Garn Bio Shetland. The colors for this one, I know I've talked about it before, but in case you're new here, I'm using that same navy that I just showed, which is the BC Bio Shetland. Then I'm using the cream color in the BC Garn Bio Shetland, and then this really nice kind of teal blue color. So really pretty, love all of these. And I think as well, before we get going, I will probably wind up a couple more balls of these just in case. And then I'm using what I have left of this cone of, I think it's called Ember. Yeah, so Holst Garn, super soft in the colorway Ember. I can't wait to finish using this because I realized pretty recently, actually, like in the summertime, that this yarn makes me sneeze really bad. So every time I'm holding it or I have it, it just makes me really itchy. So I'm hoping that because I'm using it very sparsely through the sweater, it's only in a couple of rows for a repeat, that it doesn't bother me too much. And also this is a cardigan, so I'll be wearing it over other things like tank tops, t-shirts, whatever, that it won't bother me. But after soaking and everything, it seems fine. It's just the process of when I'm knitting with it is something about it just really agitates my nose. So I have donated all my other skeins, or not even skeins, I had cones of that yarn, a lot of it, but I realized, you know, it doesn't make sense for me to keep something and try to continue using it when it's just not working for me. I do actually love that yarn. I think it's a great yarn, really good color range, and it's very affordable. I don't know if they're shipping to the US right now. I believe that they have shut down because it is not a US based business, and I know that, you know, a lot of places aren't shipping here currently. So unfortunately, I don't think you can get your hands on it unless there's a shop you know of that has it locally, but I don't know. But anyway, that is my knitting, and those are my knitting plans. I just kind of have like the more intense colorwork sweater, which is just a couple more rows, and then I need to cast on the sleeves. And then I have the pretty easy, relaxed colorwork because it's only 2 colors and it's quite easy knitting. So it'll be a kind of a breeze to get through that one. I'll probably, like I said, cake up a couple more skeins of the navy that I have in stash just so I have it done. And I will keep these in my basket. But besides that, I will move on into life stuff. As you can see, my shelves are almost empty behind me, and that is because I had to pack again. We found a house, this was several weeks ago now, and we were kind of between 2 homes. We really liked both of these houses, and we couldn't decide which one we liked more. One was just barely bigger and kind of just very similar neighborhoods, very similar homes. Even the color of the houses was really similar. And so we were just having a hard time deciding, going back and forth. We made an offer on one of the homes, but there was a counter offer that was like way above the asking price. And we were like, no, it's not worth it. And then we just went ahead and went with our second house that we'd already really, really liked and put in an offer. There was a counter offer on the table, but I had written a cover letter, like a little, you know, get to know us, as in my husband and I and our 2 children, and I wrote, you know, a little letter and had some pictures and stuff on the side, like as a little collage. And the listing agent said that the cover letter is what sold them to selling the house and picking our offer over the other one. So not to toot my own horn, but so that's really good for us. They accepted our offer. We are closing pretty soon here, about a week and a half. But yeah, everything else is good to go. We've already got approved on everything. We just have like our last signing stuff, I think, last signing where you get the keys and all that stuff. But we just scheduled our final walkthrough. It's supposed to be this weekend, but I don't know, I need to talk to our realtor. But yeah, very exciting. All good news, good stuff, right? So yeah, we're moving and I need to pack everything. Deandra just left to the gym and took both the kids, and I have already packed up all my cross stitch stuff. Well, not everything. So I have a cube unit, which I'm not going to use for cross stitch at the new house. It works really good when you are in a place like this where I didn't have a separate craft room. I will have a craft room at the new house, and I'm just going to have Daniel build me like a bookshelf kind of storage situation. So there'll be like cupboards at the bottom, which I don't know if I actually want the faces of the cupboards on or not. I kind of want them just open so I can put baskets in and slide them in and out, because I don't really like the whole out of sight, out of mind thing. The baskets will help keep the, you know, the mess contained, but I also just think, yeah, it'll work a little bit better if I leave them open, but we'll see what happens. I don't know yet. But anyway, all that to say, I will have a craft room, and I will definitely try to film like us in the process of building and, you know, decorating and things like that. But I don't know if I'll put that on this channel or if I'll just create a separate channel, just because I don't want to like dump all that onto this channel and it not be like cross stitch related, you know. It doesn't really make sense to me. So I think that I might put that on a separate channel, and that way as well, like whenever I have a crafty vlog, even though it will have to do with crafting, it can go on the other channel. So if I do create that channel, I will definitely let you guys know, and I will link it in the description box below. I don't think I'm gonna make it anytime soon, but we'll see what happens. We already got Amira's school situation set up, so we've already talked to her new school. She is changing districts. She's totally fine with that and excited, actually, because she's just a very social kid. She loves, you know, making friends, and she makes friends really easy. So we're very glad to only have to move her like one time in her life, and hopefully, you know, we'll stay in that area for the rest of her schooling, and yeah, it'll be a good time. But yeah, I've just been busy packing. That's pretty much it. We went to this place called Urban Air. It opened up, I think, in Tacoma, and that was really fun. It's like a jumping, bouncy house, like all sorts of stuff, mazes or like little zip lines and all this stuff. So really, really fun for the kids. They had their grand opening a couple weekends ago, and so we went to that, and it was really fun. But then when we were leaving, we have a truck, and but when we were leaving the Urban Air, Daniel backed up into a light pole. So we also have been dealing with getting that into the body shop and getting that taken care of, which was expensive. But that'll be nice to get that all fixed up. So yeah, I've just been busy packing. I'll continue to pack, and we are just really excited. We're really excited. It's my first time buying a house, but not Daniel's first time buying a house. It'll be nice to just have a place of our own. It's crazy how the process is. It's like so fast but so slow at the same time. I don't know, can't describe it. Because like they want you to send in that paperwork ASAP, and then they sit on it for like several days, and then you finally hear back and all this and that. But yeah, we're really excited. Thank you so much for everyone for all the well wishes on finding a home, and you know, thinking of my family and the thoughts and the prayers and all that good stuff, because obviously it worked. The good vibes were felt, and we found a home. So just have to get everything kind of put together in these boxes and get up on out of here. But by next month we should be, you know, slowly moving stuff over, and I should be able to like start painting, and probably on the weekends having Daniel come in and do a little bit of building. I don't know what we're gonna do first. I really want my craft room to be done first. Of course I do, but that's gonna involve a lot more building, whereas I could be over painting. So I'll definitely start painting, but I need to pick some colors. I already have colors all planned out though, so I just need to head over to the Lowe's, because Home Depot really doesn't have that much color selection out here anymore, guys. What's going on with that? But super excited. So yeah, I will catch you guys next time I see you, whenever that is. But I hope you have a good one, and keep in touch with me over on Instagram. Give us a like, and please do subscribe if you're new here. But thanks so much. I'll see you when I see you. Bye.